Hello there, it's Kristen again. I hope that you are feeling crafty today because it just so happens that I have two more fun-filled Bible crafts to share with you. And don't whine, but they have to do with grapes. Get it? Because grapes and wine. Anyways, so this week's lesson is on how Jesus is the vine and we are the branches. And we want to stay connected to him and rooted in him in order to bear fruit. So we have two crafts that are going to have to do with grapes and with branches. So the first one that we are going to do is a cooperative craft. So this is one that you'll want to do with a whole class, a whole Sunday school class, or maybe a small group, or even just 2 or 3 kids, you could make it work. But we're going to make a branch, and we're going to have everyone make grapes that we can put together on our branch. So what you're going to want to do is first have several circles. Now I'm going to use purple paper because that's typically what we would associate with grapes. But of course, you could use any color. You could use green or white or red or whatever you want your grapes to be. But we're going to cut several circles. I'm folding it to make it easier to cut more than one at once. And you're going to give each kid a few circles. So let's say that you have a group of 5 kids. Each kid is going to receive 5 circles to decorate. And the nice thing about this too is that if it's not an exact, just precise circle shape, it's okay because in real life, grapes aren't really always perfect circles, right? So it works. So here we have our circles, and each kid is going to decorate their circles with their name. And if you have room and they want to add more stuff, they of course can. But let's say I have, we're just gonna throw out some names here. So let's say I'm going to put my name on one of them. So if I were really doing this, I would put my name on all of them. But for the sake of showing you, I'm going to write my name on all of those grapes. And then let's just say Rachel is going to write her name on all her grapes here. And then we're going to have Melissa write her name on all of her grapes. And then we're going to, don't worry, we won't make this go on for too painfully long. We're going to have Charlie put all his name on all of his grapes. We're going to have Liam put his name on all his grapes. We're going to have David put his name on all of his grapes. We're going to, so you get the idea. Everyone's going to, let's just go ahead and finish this off here. Everyone's going to put their name on all of their grapes. And then, you might have guessed it, we're going to have a conglomeration of all of the different kids' names here. So, we'll just finish this off. Daniel put his name on all of his grapes. And then we'll just have Joy put her name on all her grapes. So, here's our grapes. Now, each kid is going to get the names of the other children in the class. So you'll distribute these, collect them, and give them out so each kid has a set of the other children's names. Then you'll need a background paper. We're going to go ahead and use green here. And you're going to start off by making a branch and then attaching your little grape cluster on a vine. So how we're going to make this branch is we're going to take a paper bag. And if you have really large paper, or you maybe want to do this for like a bulletin board, that's a fun option as well. I'm going to cut the paper bag so we can make it into our branch by twisting it here. And if you don't have as much room, of course, you can make this smaller. We'll cut it in half again. Twisting up our bag. Now we have, this just makes a more 3-dimensional layer here, so we have a fun pop-out vine. You could, as I mentioned, put this on a big bulletin board, or you could even have this just be the vine, but then it's a little tricky when you get the grapes attached to it. So we're going to attach this to our paper, and you could do that with staples or glue, or I'm going to go ahead and use tape because it's fast and secure. And then we're going to add our little grape cluster, which is made from the names of all the students in my group. So we're going to glue this on. And so I'll just make my little grapes and put them together. And remember that we are all together. Now, technically, he is the vine, we are the branches. We're not exactly the grapes, but you get the idea. The branches are representing what attaches to the vine, and we attach to the vine and make our little grape cluster. So we are all together and united in our faith and in him. Yes, hello, sorry, Fiona, I guess I should have given you a grape, huh? And then if you'd also like to add, you can do a little leaf off to the side here. You can always just draw on some leaves. Or you could cut these out of paper as well. And then, of course, you want to remember why I have this random branch with my friends' names sticking off of it in these lovely grapes. So you want to add a caption to your illustration here. So you can say, Jesus is the vine, or he is the vine. We are the branches. Of course, that's only one possibility. You could also mention bear spiritual fruit, remain connected to him. A lot of different possible options for captions, or putting a verse on there as well could be done. Hi. And you could also do this if you have more time and you have a lot of students. You could make multiple grape clusters and do a big long thing. But here's a simple version of our lovely branch vine with grapes attached to it, which we make through our different friends. Now, the next craft also has to do with the vine and the branches. And this one is an individual, so it could be done with just one kid. So this time it's going to be the child who is the vine or the branch, as well as the fruit. So let me show you how that's going to work. You're just going to need some paper of various assorted colors, and then something to draw with, and also either an ink pad, or if you want to have a lot of fun and get maybe messy, some paint. So here's how this one's going to go. You're going to start off by tracing the child's hand on the paper, and trace a little bit of the wrist or arm as well, which, fun fact, in the biblical Greek, that was all part of the hand. So when they say Jesus had nails in his hands, they were more likely in his wrist, but that's entirely beside the point. Anyways, we're tracing the hand. So you're going to kind of go up the wrist a little bit. And if you want to kind of make it even bigger than the child's actual hand to give you more space, you can go wider than their hand. But you might want to be accurate in the size of the hand. I actually have kind of smallish hands. But anyways, here's our random watch bump. So here's our branch. And then if you would like to make this fun and more plant-like, you can always cut out a couple of leaves to attach to your paper. So here's my leaves. I'm going to glue those on. And now comes the fun part. We're going to make this personal. I'm going to add the grapes. And what we're going to use to add the grapes is the child's own fingerprints. So this is where the ink pad or the paint comes into play. So here's my lovely leaves here and there and everywhere. And of course, if you want to embellish this even further, you could kind of make some dangly, draw some more leaves or make some little vine shapes or however you wanted to do it. And of course, we're going to add that caption again. This time I'll say, bear spiritual fruit. You could also do the play on words, he is divine. We are de branches, but you know, that's just kind of silly. All right, so stay connected to Jesus. This reminds us that he is the vine. We are the branches. We stay connected to him, and like a fruit tree or something with leaves, we give him the branches. So here we have, this is the part where we use our fingerprints. So you can either, again, you can use your fun handy dandy ink pad, or you can use a little squirt of finger paint. And what we're going to do here is roll your finger into this, and now we're going to make our little grapes, which, as you can tell, this is not the greatest of ink pads, so let's have some fun here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Sound effects optional. And you can use any of your fingers. You can use the index finger or pointer finger. You can use the thumb. We're just going to go to town and get all covered in paint. Why not? You can use the pinky, however you'd like to do it, but we're going to just have the kids. This is a fun one for younger kids, of course, too, because who doesn't love a good finger painting session? And of course, you can help them to make it even, or you can just let them have a lot of fun with it and go all crazy. So here's our grape clusters. And you may even, like I drew the vines here, you might want to wait for the kids to put their grape clusters down with their fingers and then add the vines afterwards so they really connect to those branches. And of course, if you use paint, you also have the let it dry factor. So this is a good one for an activity if you can let the kids wait a week or so to take it home, because it is going to need to dry a little unless you have really fast drying paint. So there we have plenty of grape clusters that are connected to the branch or the hand. And we remember that we are connected to Jesus, and he helps us to produce spiritual fruit. So I'm going to go wash my hands. I hope you'll take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos, because we do have ideas coming out for messages and crafts every week. So feel free to check in or tune in if you need something for the next week's Sunday school lesson, or you want to know what the gospel has to say for the next upcoming reading. I hope this helps you, gives you some ideas and some springing off points. We have other grape activities, we have other fruit activities, we have other crafts of every sort. So make some fun crafts, make some wonderful disciples. Have a great week. Hope we'll see you next time.